we're back for another Gab with Abigail. If you aren't back and this is your first time on my channel, hi, welcome to Gabs with Abigail, where we talk about the Bates and Duggars and other D-list fundies. For today's video, we are finally catching up with the Rodrigues family. It has been a fun, exciting, and eventful 2022, so let's get into it. Top of our list, top of the year, our fave couple, Kaylee and Jonathan, got engaged, and I'm super excited about it. At the top of the 2022 year, Jonathan proposed to our good sis, our gorgeous angel, Kaylee, in a surprise Florida engagement.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, ready? You were taking it on the phone for them too? Okay, and then maybe let's look that way and see.
When I first met you, you were way more than I expected. With your care for others and heart for the Lord, you have completely won my heart. I love you, Kaylee. Will you marry me?
Yes. How in the world? In Florida? Wow. It's so ridiculous. It's so funny. You're so sweet.
Wow, that's gorgeous. So did we surprise you?
Are you kidding?
This is yours.
And
The surprise required the older girls to be wearing a matching outfit to Kaylee on the day of her engagement and also all of her engagement photos. But I'm not going to dwell too much on that because it helped them to pull off the surprise.
And I think you
And
did the full heart, right?
Kaylee could be the type of girl who really does not care about that sort of thing. And I'm sure that Jill and David have been raising her to be the kind of girl who shouldn't care about those kinds of things. You should be grateful that people planned a surprise for you. You should be grateful that man proposed. And shout out to Tessie for finally being old enough to be in all these photos. Of course, stereotypically, with every IFB freaking engagement that we see, both her parents and his parents were there for this joyous moment. He is the first in his family to be getting married, so I'm sure for them this is super exciting. And so when do you guys think they're going to have the wedding? I personally think that it's going to be in like October, but it's interesting because we really haven't gotten any like we're planning a wedding content from Jill, which we also didn't really get from Nari. And it's so, the crazy thing is like she just really reads her audience so wrong. Like the things that she puts on their YouTube, like honey, you could be making a lot more money if you were putting out content that the streets want to see. Like the wedding planning, wedding prep stuff, you could be making so much money off of putting that on your YouTube page. Like, give us the details, give us the deets. We want to know, what are the wedding colors? Where's the venue? When is it? Personally, I'm predicting an October wedding because that's when David and Jill's anniversary is. But it's like a weird thing to have a long engagement in IFB Fundie circles. So that would be the only other reason why I would think maybe it's going to be sooner than that. But we're in July at this point, bro. She just turned 21. Her birthday was a couple of days ago at the time that this video is being filmed. I think it was July 5th. So, like, we're getting into August, September, October. That's 3 months away. Like, I think October is when we're going to have this wedding. Another reason why I think probably they haven't had the wedding yet, you know, and they're having a bit of a longer engagement. Honestly, I want to say Nari had a pretty long engagement as well. So it's really interesting to see that they're doing it this way. I mean, maybe it's really simply just really a Gothard thing, but I don't know. I think that's interesting. that they haven't gotten the wedding out of the way yet. And clearly they're enjoying getting to hold each other's hands quite a bit. Jonathan has now moved into the area. That's another huge update. So that Kaylee was praying and hoping for a husband who would move out to where her family lives so that she could stay near her family, and that she just loves the area that they're in as well. And Jonathan has moved, and he made that move during 2022. The Rodrigues family went and renovated, basically fixed up a basement for somebody that they know, or who Jonathan is staying with right now during his whole, transition out to Ohio, where they live and where him and Kaylee are going to build their family, basically. And that's the other reason why I said that to say that's the other reason why I think they haven't gotten married yet, is so that Jonathan can get more comfortable and established financially, so he can be more established financially, and they'll be in a better position for their family. So we'll keep an eye out for that. I can't wait to see what her wedding colors are. I can't wait to see what her wedding dress is, honey. Streets was talking about Norie's dress, so I'm excited to see what Kaylee does. And it's interesting because these girls are so much more ultra conservative. I'm predicting that she'll do a cap sleeve. I don't know. She gives cap sleeve. Are we thinking cap sleeve? Are we thinking long sleeve? I just have a feeling. I just feel like Jill would be super judgmental about one of those long sleeve see-through-ish dresses. I just feel like it wouldn't be modest enough for her. So I'm predicting a cap sleeve dress. Let me know what you guys think. When do you think the wedding is going to be? I'm excited. I can't wait. I think her and Jonathan are so cute. Next. Also, still talking about Kaylee. So there was in about late March, early April, really late March, Jill put on a ladies' retreat for her church, and the girls participated. And in it, Kaylee does a skit, which if you grew up in church, you know that church skits are pretty common. But she did a skit, and when I tell you I watched that and I was so entertained, she did such a good job in this skit. Oscar worthy, I swear to God. The Emmy nominations just came out today, and Kaylee needed to have been one of the people nominated. She was really so good. It was such a pleasure to watch her. I was really surprised based on how we've kind of gleaned her personality from how social media presence and how other people have talked about her. And I would have never guessed that I was going to enjoy that skit so much. She was funny. She had great comedic timing, especially compared to the one other actress. There was the other actress. There was 3 of them in the skit. And Kaylee and another girl, they really did a great job.
Oh, Lauren, Betty Lou's kind of different from us. I know, but she's always saying, have faith in this and have faith in that. God will provide all our needs. All that kind of stuff.
Yes, I know she's different, but she's new to our church, so we should at least try to be friendly.
I just don't understand why you invited her to come with us anyways. It's always been just you and me at the retreats. Just you and me. We're great together.
I know, but when Joe Rodrigues came...
Stop it! You're going, Hawaii? Oh, stop that. I have to be nice. Betty Lou! I'm so glad you're coming with us. Thank you. Hi, Betty Lou. I'm glad you're here. Thank you. The Lord has been blessing me upside and down, inside and out. I feel so warm and fuzzy inside. Thank you. Okay, better get going.
What's the matter?
I always get the front seat.
Then you just sit in the back with Betty Lou. We've already sitting there.
I don't care. I always get the front seat. And you know how car sick I get if I have to ride in the back seat.
For heaven's sake, Darlene, you are worse than my children.
I am not.
All right.
Here, let me get out the map and turn a knot. I think
Well,
we're riding
Betty Lou,
here.
I can't
Lauren!
Yeah?
Are you all right?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, then
I was watching it like, wow, girl, you can act, okay? Low key. Like, I watched it and just, I was so entertained, and I also felt so sad because it's like, if you had gone to a regular high school, you would have loved drama club. You would have flourished like hell in drama club, especially since out of her sisters, I think she's the one who likes the most to sing. So just like the combination of choir and drama club, you would have loved it. And I say that because like in my high school, every year the drama club put on 3 major shows. So you had the one at the beginning of the year that was kind of like a smaller show. And then you had the second show, which was like the competition show. So they took that to competition. I hope to God my kid is a drama club kid and they go to like drama club competitions. If you've never heard of that kind of thing, it's dope as hell. Anyway, and then the third show that they put on at the end of the year that would be a big musical. The musical, participating in the High School Musical when I was in high school was literally one of the best memories, best parts of my high school experience. And like the directors and like leaders of the drama club would always have like their favorites and things like that, because you'll have the people who are naturally really good and who you coach and who you work with, and so who would always be in the shows and things like that. And Kaylee would have been one of those freaking kids, and it just like sucks that that's something she'll never get to experience. She'll never have gotten to experience, and just even how like that would have maybe changed and shifted her narrative about what she thinks about like gay people. I'm thinking about that because my high school, the director, he was gay, very much so, but like, you know, because that's the territory of the theater, really, is a lot of queer folk in that space, in the arts. And it just sucks that that's not something that could have ever been a part of her life experience, because she's really good at it. And I'm sure, obviously, not being in high school, a regular high school, has afforded her a lot of really great opportunities or experiences that she would have otherwise not received. But it sucks that she never got to be a part of the drama club, because she really would have flourished. And I've probably already put in a clip, but I would say definitely go ahead and watch the whole thing, just because it was entertaining. It honestly was, even if you're not a Christian. Like, it was just maybe this is just me growing up in church. I love a good church skit. I love a good play. I love the theater. That is really my dream. I was thinking about this. I've been thinking about the context of like how I want my relationships and love a lot, and just like how ideally I would love to have the kind of partner who I could go to a play with. Obviously, I feel like my female friends, of course, but it would be nice if you had like a romantic partner that you could take to a show. So, and I say that to say because Hamilton is coming to my city in October and I really want to go. And I'm like manifesting that I will have the money to go. So if I do, I will of course share, because everybody says Hamilton is good as hell, honey. $300 for a ticket, that seems worth it for how people rave about that. Moving on. In major news, Nari and her family were in a car accident. So that's her, Nathan, and their new baby. I say new because he's not a one. He's not one yet. What is that boy's name? Nehemiah. Which is really honestly a cute name. Like, it's a really cute name for a baby, to be honest. Nehemiah. Full-bodied name. But they were in a car accident where I think they got hit by a drunk driver. Thankfully, everybody was okay. I think it like totaled their car and everything. Like, it was a really serious car accident. And like I said, thankfully everybody was okay. But the tea is that Nari and Nathan got a ticket because I guess the baby wasn't strapped in well enough in the car seat, which is really crazy. I wonder what exactly that means, because obviously baby was fine. It sounds like, it doesn't sound like they went to the hospital. Maybe they did. Hopefully they did, so they could get that car insurance claim, honey. That's kind of crazy, and it's a little bit insane that you guys got a car ticket for not having your baby strapped in well enough. I don't want to say anything negative about parenting, but I'm still a little bit traumatized by why did I get married in that car accident scenario. So buckle that baby in, especially you want to have buckling a baby in right into a car seat down pat, since it was announced that little Nehemiah is going to be a big brother, getting a baby brother in November, meaning that the two will be 13 months apart. Yes, so that basically she has gotten back-to-back pregnant. Jill was so kind to tell us that Nari is just like her mother. Why we needed to know that, why we need that reference. I don't want to hear that. So she's had another baby. We are never going to bash an unexpected baby. Every baby that they have is going to be unexpected since they aren't using any contraceptive and are receiving as many kids as God gives them. But like I said, we're not going to bash anybody for having a baby. A new life is a new life. Let's celebrate it. Let's be joyous. Let's speak joy and life and blessings over this child. And of course, blessings in the way that we think that are blessings. Like, you are going to be a good, nice, inclusive person. She's having another baby. That's all I could say about that. I mean, she's having another son. We're going to be on baby watch, wishing her a happy, safe, healthy pregnancy and delivery. That this isn't taking too much of a toll on her body, having two babies so close to back together. That basically, you know, by the time Nehemiah was 4 months, she was pregnant again. Yeah. In other news, after that was revealed, Jill, for some reason, decided to come to us and ask for prayers for her to be able to get pregnant again. Now, my good sis, you are about to be a grandmother of 2. Sit down. All right? Sit down. Like, the fact that you would come to us and ask us to pray for you to be able to get pregnant again with your 14th child at the tail's end of your child, like, your oldest having the first 2. Like, I don't care who all else in your little group, in your little club, was still getting pregnant with their child. It sounds like that ship has sailed for you. So the fact that you're asking us to pray for that simply because it's your heart's desire is annoying. I don't even, there are some things, I don't know. I just don't understand in terms of like Christianity. Why are we asking for them? Why are we praying for that? The Lord opens and closes the womb, right? And if you're receiving every child that he's giving to you as a blessing, I just don't get like why pray for more children. He's given you 13. That seems like a lot of blessing. Not only has he given you 13 children, but now as at the very close to when your womb has now basically, it seems, closed, given you 2 grandchildren, 2 new babies to get to love and experience and cherish. And while is it the same as carrying a baby? Is it the same as having the baby in the house every day? No, but shouldn't you just be taking on in stride that this is your new life? Like, this is your new thing? I just don't get it. I don't get why she's asking us to pray for this. But Jill, baby, we're not going to. Is that rude? We could pray for a lot of other things for you, but we're not praying for that. Next. David turned 50. Big congrats. And again, that man just turned 50. So the fact that she is asking us to pray for them to have another child, that man is 50, bro. So by the time that last child was born, he would be like 20. He'd be like 71. Like, it's getting to be too much, Jill. It's getting to be too much. Like, let's relax. Let's settle down. Let's simmer down. It's been appropriate for centuries for old-ass men to be having children with young, very, very young women just because their sperm is still moving around. Let's cut it out. Let's stop. In other news, Jill attended a women's empowerment retreat. A Plexus conference. I just think it's so interesting how these women in these very, very patriarchal religions join MLMs and then do things that are very much girl boss, very empowering, very look at me, I am a woman and I can do anything pretty much. Like, it's, I don't even say anything, but like looking at the conference photos, it's giving a women's empowerment retreat. It's giving girl boss. It's not giving patriarchy. And I think there's the photo. I think David came with her. And I don't know if that was to remind us that her husband is still there. Her husband is the one who okays all of this. Yada, yada, yada. Because these MLM groups are hyper aware of the group of very religious women who participate in their sales and in their organization, and how that is an important cornerstone for them. And so obviously that's why the husbands had a day where they were invited, where I'm sure they kind of tiptoe delicately around the language regarding being a girl boss, because they know their audience. But it's just so like ironic to me that pretty much you're basically saying that these are things that you can pick and choose to label as certain as women's empowerment, when that's what it is. It really is. You can't tell me that Jill doesn't feel important, special, and empowered by doing this. And it might be the case that because it's not saying in particular that these are things that I'm able to do because I'm a woman, but that's precisely what it is, which is that because you're a woman, that's really what helps you to be able to do this particular role, this particular job in the MLM really well. You're selling to other women. It relies on you feeling like, oh, I can work from home and therefore still be a mother and stay-at-home mother. It relies on you reaching out to other women. Your chain, your downline doesn't get stronger without women. If you look at who all is in Jill's organization, it's women. And I'm sure that there are other women who have coached her how to attract more women. So I think it's just really interesting how you have to pick and choose. I won't say you have to. I think it's interesting how you get to pick and choose what you label. Like, what I'm trying to say is that it's very feminist, but because there is a concerted effort by these women, by this particular group, to be against feminism because they have a certain label and definition of what feminism is, that they can't see that in this tiny tidbit way, you do really engage with it. And I think that's so funny. And all the other things that you have to basically commit yourself to saying that, oh, this is my husband, because I'm sure all the money goes into their one bank account. I'm sure there isn't a time where Jill takes this money and uses it for herself. But even still, the fact that you're working and earning an income for your family is in and of itself kind of empowering, because really at any time, if you wanted to leave David, technically, you have a job that would allow you to do so. You are not totally 100% and utterly dependent on him. Every day you make a choice that money goes to him. Every day you might be a religious obligation that forces you to feel that way, but every day you make that decision and you make that choice. And I think it's funny that we act like it's not that. But it is. In the latest news, Jill's mom recently had a stroke and brain aneurysm, for which surgery had to be done to try and stop the bleeding in her brain, which is really pretty serious. Jill is asking for prayers for healing. Her mother is not only a grown adult, though, but supposedly a saved Christian. I've just been thinking about it a lot, that these people say this whole point of living the way that they do is to get to heaven. Shouldn't it be wonderful that they're getting to go there? I understand from a human, fleshly perspective, we love that person and therefore want them with us. Like, that's normal, that's regular, like, I totally get that. But, I don't know, should we be praying for people who are saved, like, especially like old people? Shouldn't we be happy for them that they're getting to go? So much of religion is based around a fear of death, and it's like, what's the point if in old age you aren't excited to meet your Savior? Perhaps the certainty of what hell is like has created a fear of a heaven that is virtually unknown. Anyway, to close it out, Jill couldn't resist being a weirdo who overshares and posted this foot pic to show us that she's been maintaining her mom's beauty regimen, which is a really great thing, which is a really sweet thing to do, but why she needed to post a picture of her mom's foot, I will never know, except that it's the narcissism of Jill Rodrigues. Maybe she was trying to get the GoFundMe donations up by posting a foot pic. Like, just don't understand it, my girl. Anyways, honestly, that's really it for the catch up with the Rodriguezes. I was always expecting this video to be so much longer, but I do have obviously a lot more to say about Uvalde, Roe v. Wade, and gun rights as it relates to Jill and some of the things that she's posted, some of the things that she said. But I have other fundies that also said some things that I want to be able to put into its own individual video. So I will catch you guys for the next one. Thanks for having this little chat here with me.
Let's go. It's like